Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second episode of Keeping Up with the Dunmow. And I've got a bumper episode for you this afternoon, as I'm joined by all the management staff in the form of Dan Tolley, Allan Fenn, and Kevin Wilkins, and the new coach, which goes by the name of Sal. So we'll get into why he was appointed and why he joined us first of all. A quick message from the chairman from the last time we did our first episode of Keeping Up with Dunmow. Since then, before lockdown, of course, over 1,000 flyers have gone out to the local people of Dunmow to really try and boost up the support going into next season or when we resume, which we'll touch on. So I guess the first talking point is let's all welcome Sal. First of all, how are you, Sal? And welcome to the club.
Thanks very much. Yeah, really good, Jake. Yeah, couldn't be better.
And first of all, why did you join, obviously, Dunmow Town? Obviously, the people would have seen that you worked with Allan and Wilco at Leighton, but what attracted you to this club particularly?
Well, I've had a few conversations with Kev and Allan, and yeah, they literally sold me the club. They got a good sort of 3-year plan, told me exactly what they expect. We've spoke on length about goals and that sort of thing, and great opportunity. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Brilliant. And obviously, speak to the gaffer himself. I think might be joined by his pet dog, Allan Fenn. What was the inspiration behind bringing in Sal?
Because I've known Sal for a long time, and any manager worth his salt will tell you that one of the most important things is, it's his backroom staff. And the way I look at it is management team. We don't have titles. We're amongst a group of friends, and I've known him for such a long time that I'd like to bring him into that group. He's a confident character. He's a strong character. He's fair. He's honest, and he's loyal, and that's all the things that we need. He's got enthusiasm to help us take the club forward, and he could be a main link between us, Kevin and I, and the players, really. And with his banter, with his all round, he'll be trying to join in himself as well, no doubt. But all round, it'll be a great signing for Dunmow. It's a great signing for us, and it just reinforces the strong management team we already have.
So what we'll do, we'll talk about the roles now. You've got a management team of 4 in terms of the playing side of it. So you are the manager and Kevin's the assistant. So kind of just describe what's the difference between the coach and the assistant manager? What's going to be is there any interlinked, or is it Sal will take the sessions, you'll focus on the behind the scenes stuff and getting the right team for the day?
Yeah. The thing is, Kev's my right hand man. He's my Siamese twin, and I need him. He's a strong enough character to tell me when things are wrong, when things need a change. If I need to get my house in order, he's a strong enough character to tell me that. That's my link with Kev. Kev's link with Sal would be, is with the communication between us will be with us all the time. It won't be me saying, I want this, I want that. That doesn't work. We decide on things together. Sal might say to me, here, Fenny, this player is really doing well. His attitude's excellent. He's popping it about, zipping it about, which Kevin and I'll be at the sessions anyway. But and I'll be able to see myself. But with Sal's input as well is invaluable. Dan working with the goalkeepers, that's going to be huge. So between us, the 4 of us, it's we've got a link now, and it's a strong link that we need. And between us, we've all got different qualities. We've all got a different perspective, and it's important that we all listen to that because we never stop learning.
And you mentioned obviously Dan is the goalkeeper coach. So question towards you, Dan. Goalkeeping coach is a little bit different than obviously normal coaching. You're dealing with different personalities. So what's your plan going forward, and what kind of strategies will you bring into the football club as a goalie coach?
I suppose it's a bit more specific because you're more hands-on, whereas if it's a large group, you might have like 15 players. But with the goalkeepers, you might only have 2, and it's a bit more hands-on. So for me, it'll be learning their strengths and their weaknesses, and you can learn that very quickly because obviously if there's only 2 of them, then you can learn their strengths and weaknesses very quickly. So yeah, it's going to be a bit more hands-on for me than it would be for any normal coach. So it's something that I grasp and I enjoy.
Fantastic. Now, you may just see a little bit of disorientation there because I think Wilco's just dropped out. So we'll continue this going forward as well. And we'll introduce Kevin when Kevin's back. So I guess the first of all question to whoever wants to take it is, how are you finding this lockdown and keeping a group of players going mentally and physically?
If I can answer that first of all, from a management perspective, a lot of players will tell you, and a lot of players, it's been proven, have played for me under different clubs. They follow me around. Elias and Skego being the recent ones that we've signed. Actually, Elias and Ashley Skeggs. But you know, it's hard to be self-motivated. It's hard to remain positive. But the first things first is to be healthy and happy, try to keep positive, try to keep busy. We're all here for each other. You know, we've got various groups, as you know, Jake, and you know, we have good banter between us. We've got a couple of competitions going, like quiz nights, etc. Hello, Kev. And
I'm back.
And it's you know, it's important that, you know, between us, particularly Kev and I, we've been speaking to the players on a regular basis by phone call or via WhatsApp to make sure they're okay. We've got a fitness coach over now who is going to be setting up a personal profile plan for the players where they can keep fit, keep busy, in terms of nutrition and diet as well. So when we do come back, we're fully prepared. And, you know, until we hear any differently, we will be prepared and we will be ready to come back. Be it, you know, next week or in 3 months or in 6 months, we'll be ready. So it's important that we've kept the player spirits up. We'll continue to do that. And, you know, and that's a key part of management.
We'll introduce Kevin now in case Kevin's phone decides to get off of Zoom again. So kind of, I don't know how much of that question you did pick up before you dropped out initially. How are you finding the lockdown in terms of an assistant manager point of view? And what kind of messages have you been giving the players? Because obviously it can't all be down to Allan to do it, because Allan's got to have a break as well. So what's your input been since the lockdown?
It's really difficult, to be honest, because Al does most of it. And if he needs a hand, I'll give him a hand, like phone a few players and all that. But to be honest with you, there's not a lot to do because Alan's got his finger on the pulse and manages to sort it all out. So very limited. You know, it's hard. I keep eye on things. I'm a member of about 7 different groups now, all football related. So it's hard to keep up with it all at the moment. But as I say, Al's got his finger on the pulse and there ain't a lot for me to do at the moment.
So Fenn touched on it actually, but discussing kind of what we've been doing as a collective rather than from a on the pitch side of it. Like you say, we can't see each other. We've all got all at home now, hence why we're on Zoom. So the podcast might not be the best quality. But we've been doing that Soccer Manager League, which some people have been in. We've done some pub quizzes. How do you feel that actually impacts positively on the players? Because when you've not got that Wednesday night, Saturday, it sounds really silly, but blokes have got to be surrounded by blokes at times and go out. And I think what you miss more, personally, I don't miss the actually watching the game. It's everything that comes in with the football. So do you feel that what we're doing off the pitch is actually positively impacting the players ahead of when we resume?
Yeah, because I mean, to be honest, we've only met the players at 1 or 2 games and 1 training session. So what we're doing with the fantasy football thing and everything is really positive because you get all the banter flowing on the groups and everything, and as though you ain't seeing them physically, but you get to know people through that. So yeah, it's really positive.
And Allan, we've had some new signings. We obviously announced them at the back end of last year, including Baxter and Elias, 2 players that offer really big potential, and of course not forgetting Skego as well. What kind of players are they, and what would they bring to the team?
At first, when Kev and I come over, it's the old saying: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Dunmow was doing really well. the ambition of the club is, huge, and that's why we joined initially. But we found it. Sorry, can you repeat the question? Lost myself.
Yeah, not a problem, Gaffer. So I said, obviously we have the new signings that we announced the back end of Christmas.
Sorry, beg your pardon. Yeah. Right, Ashley Skeggs. The reason I brought him to the club is because he's a born winner, the guy. When I was at Redbridge, I didn't, I made a few changes immediately. Well, I made a lot of changes immediately, and it just backfired. Learning curve as a manager. Now we've got a great set of lads. This opportunity of lockdown has given us an opportunity to build relationships with players, to get to know them, have a laugh with them, and it's really come on. And with the new lads that's coming in, it's okay to be at home in a nice ground, popping the ball about. But when we go to away sides and the wind's coming sideways and the mud's up to your knees, I need players like that. Skeggo comes into that category. He's a born winner. He's going to get 7 or 8 out of 10 every week. With the other two guys, when quality comes along, you can't ignore it. With Matty Baxter, what a quality player he's been and what a capture for us. I've got a Zoom limit time just come up. As long as I've got Matty Baxter, superb signing, great lad, very lucky to have him. Great quality in the final third, can take the ball in good positions, beat players, get shots off, pop players in. He is a quality Mesut Ozil. You've got on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, you've got Elias. Again, he's tricky. He's like an Eden Hazard. I'm comparing these players because of these people who they know, obviously. He's like a Hazard. He'll beat players, he'll jink inside, jink outside, get his shot off, can play 1-2s round the box. And, get free kicks, get penalties because people can't get the ball off him. So when these two players came available, which I didn't need to look for, they came available and we got to have them. So we made a stand and we got these lads and, compared to the rest of the lads we got I could go through them all, but a great set of lads who are good players and good people. And, we're lucky to get the 3 lads in, but I think that'll be it for now.
Right, lovely. Now I'm going to bring in Dan because obviously you're a goalkeeper coach, but also like myself, you've got a different role within the club than your titled role, and we're both on the board or the committee. So we've obviously had one meeting, we've got other ones coming up, and we're working very hard in the background. Dan, what would your kind of words be towards people that are thinking about coming to watch the Dunmow game either next season when we resume? And how we've kind of built that trust network, because we've got people from all walks of life in the board, including Dan Kirk, who's a supporter himself. To kind of give a little rundown on what you'd like to say to potential supporters of Dunmow going forward.
Well, I think Simon's done a lot of work off the pitch. I mean, he's got a lot of local businesses involved within Dunmow, so I think that can only strengthen Dunmow's. I mean, obviously it's a new club, so you're trying to build up a fan base that that's not there. So getting local businesses involved, that means that you'll get local people involved because people will recognise that a local business is involved within Dunmow. So I think that can only strengthen the club off the pitch by Simon's work that he's doing. And you've got to praise Simon because he works so hard to get all those local businesses on board. And I think it's starting to come to fruition now. It's really looking good.
Yeah, we certainly are building. Obviously, you've been at the club probably the longest out of any of us on this chat. And obviously going forward is the big plan. I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, over 1,000 flyers have gone out just before lockdown. There's going to be another 1,000 going out when we actually can. So I guess really, Fenny, this is kind of the question towards you and Kev, really, is we all speak about this inaugural 3-year plan, the 5-year plan, what managers want to do coming into a club given their time. So kind of where would you see us in 3-4 years' time at a medium success rate, should I say? What would your medium scenario be?
Medium scenario be, would be competing in step 5 for a place in step 4. It's as simple as that, with complete respect to the clubs in our division and everywhere else at step 7. This is new to me, to put it kindly. And, it's taken a lot to get to know the teams and the clubs. There seems to be some good clubs in this league, to be fair, and some good teams as well, but I believe in the quality we have. Nothing less than promotion will be a failure for me. It's as simple as that. If we don't achieve promotion, it's a failure. Step 6 will be the same. I'm looking to achieve promotion in the first year. I believe it's viable. I believe it's doable. I believe we've got the management staff and the current core of team players. Now I've got a dog lick in my hand, excuse me. But the current core of players that we have and the group of players and with the work that Simon does, like Dan's already mentioned, the work that you do, Jake, I'm not just saying it on live now. It's absolutely fantastic. And if anyone's on social media, they can see that. And between the likes of us, mate, off the pitch and on the pitch, I expect 3 promotions in 3 years. That's what I'm looking to achieve. That's my aim. That's the management's team aim, and that's the players' aim. It's a big task, and it's a big ask. But I believe with the, like I say, off the pitch, on the pitch, with such a strong, dynamic team, with a club with huge ambition, I believe we can get there.
And
so, step 4, next 3 years, knocking on the door.
And Wilco, would you echo Alan's vision there, your medium vision of what goal you want to achieve?
Yeah, I've been involved with 2 clubs that have gone from like junior football to senior football within a matter of a few years. I know what it takes. It takes a lot of hard work from management and players. So, yeah, I reiterate that. I mean, if we don't get promotions, we ain't going to be a success. But we've been successful wherever we've managed. So I expect that to continue.
We're going to bring Sal in now because obviously we spoke to him at the beginning of the podcast. But I guess a question we can direct to you to give you some more airtime on this podcast is, what do you see happening with the remainder of this season? Do you think it'll be null and void? Or do you think it will be a case of it'll be points per game? Or can you actually see us get the season on again?
That's a big question. Thought you'd ask me about football. I don't know, mate. I really don't. I haven't looked into what the FA are doing with the COVID and all that sort of thing. I really don't know. It's sort of up in the air. I don't think anyone can really answer it. Honestly, So I think it just plays out, don't it? And we see what happens. We even had the Premier League last year. No one really knew what was going to happen with all of that. So, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to getting to know the boys, getting to work with some sessions with them, defensively, offensively, whatever, I'll speak with Kev and Al. Kev was just saying about originally taking teams from, intermediate football up to senior football. I was in one of the teams that Kev did that in, at Leighton. When I joined Leighton, we was actually in intermediate football. As I said before, Kev sold me the dream, and we did year after year, promotions and cups. Kev gave me my contract, told me what was expected, and we did it. We did it. So, Kev and Fenny, born winners. It wasn't a tough decision to come along for the ride.
Fantastic. Now, we do keep these episodes about 20 minutes long. I think we've run over a little bit for that. So all that's left to say really is to the supporters of Dunmow, the guys that are watching, thanks as always for watching. Stay safe. Keep yourself going. Dunmow will be back on the pitch before we know it. Please like, share and subscribe. Of course, there's a competition for the 1,100th subscriber, should I say, to win a hoodie. And once we get 1,000, we can actually stream live on YouTube. And if we get 100 likes on this video, actually, no, let's do it less. If we get 10 likes on this video, Alan's dog will come down to a game next season and be the mascot with a Dunmow shirt on. Done. Other than that, come on, you Royals. Take care. See you later. Till next time. Goodbye.